Hey everybody, John Gibson. I'm excited to have Lee Malone with us here today. Lee recently joined us as our, in essence, VP of all things HELOC production strategy related to our HomeEQ products. So Lee, welcome to ARC.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
So hey, let's dive into a couple things, right?
Sure.
Like, obviously your background, extensive. I think you've been in like the home equity space almost your entire career.
That's right. Yeah, long time.
So talk to us about that space for our business partners that are going to see this today. Kind of where we sit today, not ARC, but as an industry, the space, you know, kind of why the importance and why they should be thinking about things like home equity based off of current conditions. Kind of give some thoughts around that.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to. So really the main thing with home equity right now is that's the market that we're in. With the experience and background that we have at ARC, you will be able to determine a really quick process if a home equity is a great product for your customer, or if it's a great fit, or
Sure.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Look, like I said to everybody recently joined, a depth of experience in history and where you've come from. What are some of the things you've looked at in coming to ARC as far as our offering? Like we've just launched the HELOC playbook, our HomeEQ playbook, right? We have a lot of things associated with that. What are some of the things you saw that our business partners should be paying attention to?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of great stuff on the website now. We got the playbook. We got a lot of social media content. With ARC, though, it's kind of we want to make it easy for the broker that makes it easy for the customer. That's the bottom line. It's got to be easy process for everyone involved. And being able to come on board, build it kind of from the ground up and tweak it where we want and listen to our partners and see what is the best fit for them. That's what really excites me about bringing this product to our partners and to the customer, the ultimate.
Well, and I think if you dive into that playbook, right, like the HomeEQ playbook, the sales playbook that we have, right, there's the marketing content, there's the flyer content, there's the calendar around like the activities that you need to do. I mean, it basically walks you through.
Absolutely. Plug and play. It really is.
Right? Like if you're interested, like we've put a whole playbook toolkit together that basically says, just follow this.
Absolutely.
Like do this on this day, do this, and it will generate, and it's not anything that's going to cost you anything but your time.
Exactly. And you have to learn the product, with everything moving to fintech, to digital, you have to be able to understand the product as the loan officer, as the broker, to be able to explain it to your customer, because your customers aren't used to that fintech process. They still think this is a 30-year fixed product process that they're bringing in stacks of tax returns and everything like that. And it's really not like that. And that's the thing that, loan officers have to understand that product, all the guidelines, that kind of thing, and really become an expert, just like they would know an FHA loan or VA guideline, things like that as well.
Well, and you mentioned earlier, it's kind of the market we're in, right? Like, what's the number on the untapped? I forget. It's untapped equity. Everybody keeps trillions of untapped equity.
Well, and then you have on top of that, you have the most debt that customers have out there right now. They have record credit card debt. Everybody's looking for the solution to the problem. The good thing is we know what the problem is. The problem is your customers are locked in on a great rate on their first mortgage. A lot of them are 3-4% or lower. They have a cash need, and they want to come to their lending partner to get all of their lending needs from one source. And that's why you have to really know the product for home equity. If you could turn around and build the perfect environment for home equity, you would look a lot like our environment now. You would say, hey, let's make the rates a little higher than we would all like.
Right.
So a cash out refi doesn't really make a lot of great sense right now for most borrowers. Let's make borrowers have really low locked in rates on their first, so they don't want to touch it. So that's number 2. Number 3 is they have a cash need. You're always going to have that cash need, whether it be for education, a wedding, paying off debt. We just talked about the high debt that's out there right now. So all that kind of stuff plays into that, and that's the environment we're in.
That's right.
You couldn't build a better environment for it.
That's right. I mean, I look at it, and I've said this to a lot of people. I think the home equity space and the loan that you do as a home equity, that's this year and last year's refi.
Absolutely.
Right? Like that's if you're a business partner out there or a prospective business partner, like I'm sure you're feeling the same thing most lenders are feeling and most LOs are feeling, right? Volume is just as challenging this year as it was last year. Most people thought this year was going to be a much different year compared to 24 and 23 from a rate environment. We haven't seen it, right? Yep. So to your point, like there's so many of those mortgages that are at less than 5% that are still outstanding that you don't really have a shot unless there's a catastrophic need, right?
Exactly.
So how do you stay in touch with your past clients? How do you provide a solution to their problem? Record debt at all-time highs, right? Again, that's just one thing. Insert consolidating debt, insert college, insert weddings, insert all those different things.
Right. Went through three of those here recently.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Personally.
They're real life examples, right?
Sure.
They happen, right? So it's this 24-month span. It's the refi, right? So how do you stay in touch with your borrower? How do you not lose them to somebody down the street that's the bank or the credit union?
Somebody's talking to your borrower about debt consolidation. It should be you, and that's what you want. You want your customer to reach out to you for all their lending needs. And if you're not doing it because, hey, I don't make a lot of money on HELOCs or I don't want to fool with it, that's what we want to change. We want to make it so simple that it's one of these things that it's just second nature. You're still the lending expert when it comes to your customer's needs, and you want that customer to come to you. So that's the key.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Because you're bridging the gap to the next event, right? Like at some point, rates are going to come back down.
It's Who Moved My Cheese. We've all read that book. Your cheese have been moved.
That's right.
And the way you go get that new cheese is through HELOC, because you're bringing value. It's all about bringing value, whether that be to your customer. You also can use the home equity experience with your realtor partners.
That's right.
And how you do that is you go into your realtor that has a bunch of customers sitting on the fence because they're waiting for the rates to drop. They're waiting for the right time to move, and they're scared. You go in there and you talk to that realtor and say, hey, let's take a look at your customers and say, let's put these customers in a better financial position with a HELOC by either paying off debt or upgrading a kitchen, remodeling a bathroom, putting them in a better equity position when they are ready to move. And what that does for you is it puts you right front and center with your realtor partner, with your borrowers, always bringing that value that they're going to look for.
So, look, in your experience, right, what is I'll phrase it this way, what's kind of the biggest obstacle that you've seen from like LOs that you've worked with and educated and trained and got them producing? What's like that one big hurdle to get over, the one obstacle that people have? What's the misconception on a HELOC?
Yeah, absolutely. So the misconception is that there's a whole lot involved to it. I don't want to spend the time on it, or I don't understand the product. And it's that misconception of it's really selling the product as a strategy versus just the product. And that's the mindset. You have to position this as a lending strategy because of the environment we're in. And talking to customers right now with those low interest rates on their first, they need cash. This is going to be one of their options that they can have. And that's the strategy, is loan officers kind of overlook that. They're waiting for rates to fall again. Well, guess what? What happens if rates don't fall here in the next year or 2 years?
That's right.
You're still waiting. And that's going to not really serve you well if you don't understand these products and how to utilize them with your daily conversations.
So for our business partners, as you're getting under the hood and getting acclimated, and obviously you've seen the offering, I know we're going to expand from a credit perspective, from a product perspective, and we're going to enhance the offering. But like big picture, one or two things that you would leave as like a last parting kind of thought for our business partners of what you're excited about, of where we're going to take this thing.
Speed, ease, and convenience. That's where it's at. That's our goal, is we want to bring it to you. Speed, ease, and convenience on this product. That way it's easy for you, it's convenient for you, it's easy for your customer, and getting those funds quickly to your customer is really the bottom line. And it's not going to be a product for everyone. And that's the job for you as the business partners, to understand where to position this product versus a traditional product or other options for cash out. But you have to just utilize this in the tool belt, just as you would a cash out refinance.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, we're excited about Lee being here, obviously heading up all things HELOC over at ARC. I know we've talked about this in other sessions, right? I think one of the key things is in doing business with us, it's a full service type of situation, right? It's not only your needs on the non-QM side, we actually do some select products on the agency side as well, especially your non-owner occupied second homes. And now you throw HELOC into the mix, right? Our HomeEQ program. We're building out a true partnership for you as our business partners, that when you have a need for the borrower A that needs a HELOC, or borrower B that needs a non-QM loan, or borrower C that fits the commercial space or the RTL space or the fix and flip space, we're building out the product set and the guidelines to be that kind of one-stop shop for you. Really excited to have you on board.
Yeah,
excited about what the offering is going to look like moving forward. And look, as always, I say in every video I do, can't thank you enough for your partnership. We know you have choices. And trusting us with those choices when you give us a loan. We take that seriously. We appreciate it. And again, have a great day.
Thank you.